wrapped my petticoat pattern. The petticoat that I'm kind of modeling off of is at the Met. It's not under public domain though, so I will insert the link in the description. And then I'm going to be using a period costume for stage and screen, 1800 to 1909, to draft the petticoat from. Let's see, it's pattern 35. I'm just going to use this pattern and then kind of try to adapt it. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Are you helping me? Are you helping me? Oh, I see. So apologies for the view of my whole room. That's not quite very pretty, but I need quite a long shot to get the whole petticoat in view. This is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It is definitely too long for me. Maybe if I wear heels it'll be fine. Also, sorry for the jingling if you can hear that. That's one of our cats. She's got a little bell collar. When I put this on the dress form, I thought that maybe it was like not gonna be quite wide enough, but I think once it has some ruffles to kick out the bottom a bit, there's little pencil marks denoting where all the rows of ruffles should be. I think everything is far too low actually. I kind of based it off of the proportions of the photo. Sorry, I've got the book in one hand and then I've got my phone in the other so I can make sure that I'm in shot. So I think instead everything should hit, oh, and there goes a post-it note. I think that the top tier, which I have marked way down here by my knee, should actually hit around mid-thigh. So I'm just gonna take a pin and mark that so that I can then go in later and fix that on the pattern and try not to pin my petticoat to my combinations in the meantime. Maybe that's a little bit too high. Yeah, I think that's better. When I was making this pattern, I really didn't think that I had enough space to do all of the tucks and insertion lace that I want to do at this bottom panel. So I think this will really help a lot in bringing the whole thing up and letting me add some more tucks. I'm actually very happy with it. I thought that I was going to need to add a lot more volume to it. The actual petticoat that I'm basing this off of has a drawstring waistband and no opening as far as I can tell. So that I'm going to probably just deviate from what is like extant, just so that I can make my life a little bit easier and not have to repattern the top of this. We are coming up on that deadline, so I gotta get a move on. This is also like raised by an inch, so this will all sit an inch lower. And that's like a good thing to do with petticoats and other skirts that will sit around the waist. If you drop them just a little bit lower than the waist, then they don't add bulk to your actual waist point. So that's a really good way to reduce all of the bulk that might happen here. Yeah, and then I think instead of a side closure, I might do center back closure maybe. I think I do want an opening so I don't have to add more to get this gathered. There's no way that this measurement will ever fit over my shoulders or my hips. Okay, baby bat, it's okay. Come here, baby. You like Mama's skirt? You'd rather just go over there. Alright, bye-bye. Anyways, all in all, I think this is pretty good. Obviously, this mock-up is really just for shape and to check the lines where everything should hit. So I still have so much work still to do ahead of me. I'm trying to decide if I have the time to dye the fabric for the petticoat or not. But yeah, I think it looks quite nice and I'm really happy with it. Woohoo! One more thing down and many more to go. Cool. What are you doing, baby? Are you ready? You ready? Is it food time? Are you ready? Meow. Okay, let's go eat.
piece right here is the center front piece of the petticoat. There's going to be two of them, but I can only fit one on the screen, so you get to see one. I was going to film how I did it, but then it was kind of figuring out what to do as I was doing it, so I kind of wanted to focus on getting it right rather than trying to get the shot. I cut it so that there was no seam allowance on the front part of the pattern. At first I had this kind of cut on the fold, and then I decided to just cut it in half. So that was the piece I started with. I put this piece of insertion lace, just like laid it on top of it, and then stitched it down each of these little bars at the side. And then before I did anything to cut away the fabric underneath it, I added this placket here, and this is just a 4-inch wide piece of fabric, the same length as the center front. So I put that on right sides together, and then I stitched that. If you can see, it's folded a bit past where it's stitched, so I stitch it so I would make sure that the edge of the lace would not get cut, and then I folded it so it went right up to the edge of the lace here, and then I folded it back on itself, like, well, first like this up to this cut edge, and then over like this, so it encases all of the raw edges. Before I sew it all up though, I wanted to show you guys how I'm gonna make this edge really neat and clean. Once this placket was sewn on and stitched on one side but not on both sides, I then cut open the lace, and then I trimmed it down, pressed this part back. So this is the part, this is like basically just cut down the middle. So I pressed this part back this way, and when I stitch this up, this will cover all the raw edges of the center front and then also the insertion lace really neatly so that no raw edges are showing. For this side, I'm just going to finish it like normal insertion lace, where I tuck this edge under and then do an overhand whip stitch. That is how I'm finishing this center front so that it can stay open and actually like fit over my hips without needing a side closure, because it doesn't look like that's how the reference image is. From here, I'm going to stick a couple buttons, and then this will have a drawstring that it just ties closed, and hopefully that will be good. I don't know if that's actually historical literally at all. Just kind of made it up from what it looks like is going on in the kind of pixelated grainy reference image. Awesome. Right now I'm working on the tucks in each of the tiers of ruffles. So this is the top edge of the ruffle, and then this is the bottom edge, and what I'm doing is I'm measuring where I want the fold for the topmost tuck to fall. Typically you measure where the stitch line is going to be when you fold the fabric so that it meets, but I'm just kind of finding it easier right now to fold up where I want the fold of the tuck, and then I'll be stitching a 1/4 inch away from the tuck so that when I fold it all the right way, it'll end up being like this. We'll see if that works for ones that are not the topmost tuck, but that is my easy hack for doing the top layer of tuck. for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you got something out of it. I had a lot of fun making this, even though it was kind of a little bit of a slog doing all this insertion lace, but I think it turned out really pretty in the end, so I'm very pleased with the result. This is the last of the undergarments for this series, so the next video should be focusing on the dress. So if you want to see how that turns out eventually, then hit the subscribe button. If you want to talk to me, then leave a comment and I would love to talk back to you. So next couple of videos is going to be the dress. I hope it turns out exactly how I imagine it, which, you know, things rarely do, but we're gonna give it a try.
She's like, it's so nice of you to lay out this paper for me to clean myself on.
I know, right?